Even creation may be possible. Still,
No! Paimon's got a brain! But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting?
well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. How you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Fascinating. And this floating child...
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you. Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder, did Paimon guide the elemental power to you? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backwards. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey! How would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in the research, it seems that only experimentation will yield. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them.
Huh? Doesn't seem very...
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could...
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
Nice and... that really hurt!
Go!
Ba-boom! Inadmissible evidence! Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal. Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's...
Internal flow? How do you...
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract if the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness.
And in the abnormal...
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not to worry. Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your... Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, it's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not... I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. All going to plan, we should be able to begin...
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems... Let's keep our eyes open.
Eyes on me!
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes.
Wipe out! Yeah.
This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the... While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met him.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report...
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses, perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler... Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a base...
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. A cryoregisvine, or even a whopperflower might be a better analogy. In that sense, think...
Yes, sir. That sounds...
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world... Now that really would be something, wouldn't it?
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. I'll slow down a bit next time. Speaking of data, to complete our research...
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Doesn't sound...
You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What happened to him?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow is complete, there won't be any other effect.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. But of course, you're my assistant. By all sense and reason, it would be wrong of me to... In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world. Nothing...
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the... undesirable variety. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same, they can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are them. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an Eye of the Storm. To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental... Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. You gave me a lot to consider. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form? Now that...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like... what Paimon meant to say was...
Before we can proceed with our research, if you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the time. I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. You'd be... Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the... But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side. Do you possess any... I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment. No. You shan't be required to exert quite so... Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it. That was your best effort?
What's with the disappointment? Isn't that like...
Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking as such. Rather, channeling your power into the... I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation. I suppose I have a curiosity for things that others... Anyway, why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat? I've just...
Cooking? Paimon was looking...
Not only is this recipe a staple for me...
Paimon bets you're just hungry. That does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approved. Good, but...
I'll leave you to it then. If there's anything left...
Paimon doesn't think we'll have... How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Maybe try the willpower thing again. Where does he get these ideas from anyway? Let's just do it the old...
Tigerfish! Get it while it's up!
That was fast. Looking... An average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food unless... Could it be that the natural laws of this world are...
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than...
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. And here's your portion. Enjoy.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole... Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes, so... And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right?
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper places, I managed to retrieve the majority, but
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go gathering...
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. If you had, say, a superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, lost property, I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh yeah! You could use elemental... This must be electrohypostasis powder. The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it.
Goodness, you managed to find them. Incredible. I'm wondering, this elemental sight, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
Yep. Guess it does sort of count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean, we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items back, I'd call this a very worthwhile experiment. I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is just... In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical. Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jump from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see her then? So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into a million fragments? Then? Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, we'll gain a more I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test.
Still in one piece! Good thing the vial's so strong.
Project! Don't be a killjoy! We've only just begun! You can't run! Well, neither can I miscalculated.
You want us to...
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rational. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole no matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. Then if you would, please, I eagerly...
Wait a minute! While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing, emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything. No, my prince.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, Traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming...
But you followed us the whole way without breaking us.
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway, if it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the other world. If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of evolution that would occur under the absence of such effects. The innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I should be able to show you something interesting. I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few... gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. As the unknown transitions into all these things that start out as objects of fascination.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly turtles? Because you got to see something new and...
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring, not worth closer inspection. There is precious little about them that serves to pique my curiosity now.
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you? Like some basic draft of a sketch?
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me, and I will remember this friendship for a lifetime. Now, before we head back to the campsite, there's one more experiment. Intelligence. Follow me. There are some other ruins nearby. I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities, much as we did for... I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. A tried and tested So, let's see you in action. It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution. Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
One is fast on one's... Wait! My mechanical master...
Boba, get them! Nice and spicy!
Water jet!
First aid kit at the ready. Hip. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
Race you! No ingredients for me today!
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out.
Hey!
I'll keep an eye on you.
Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over. There's still a lot to learn about them. let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them.
Another thing for the don't understand. Seems like if you want the reward...
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a...
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing... Unless you can think of it...
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on.
You didn't...
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albeit... I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? Participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed...
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mon...
So, what are you gonna do?
I've gotta hand it to you. I've investigated everything else. The only...
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems... But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no... Which is what I was hoping. I would have...
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo.
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is... you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Teyvat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's arguably a small miracle. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned. Under the effects of Teyvat's natural laws, it isn't even able to sprout, let alone bloom. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
The transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself?
Aww.
It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement.
Paimon thought, with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. Even a momentary burst is precious. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one unburdened by loneliness. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, can I solicit your help again? Well, glad I can count on you. I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me?
I can't decide whether pyro slimes taste better with salt and pepper or garlic and herbs. Race you!
Moon pie. That's what I'll make.
Bombs away! Water jet!
Time for your arraignment! Motion to compel!
Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock.
Ad Astra.
Surrender and be gentle.
Water jet!
Eat this! Help! My dinner is attacked!
Yeah!
Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock.
Yeah.
Ad Astra Abbot. Thank you for completing.
The one before you is no... Ah.
We have put in much work of late. If you ever have any...
Ready for trial. Inadmissible evidence! Huh?
Out of the frying pan, into the...
Let's spark things up a Come a little closer.
Incinerate!
Booba, get them!
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready. done!
You're in for a little shock.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Don't be such a brute. Surrender and be gentle.
Time for your arraignment! Boba, get them! Eat this! Motion!
Come a little closer.
Yeah.